Hey everyone, it's Ryder from Skip. Here are the top 4 funding options for 2023. I'm going to go through these top 4 options and how you can take advantage of them today, whether you could use $100,000 more or less. These are the 4 options we've seen the most success with over the past several months, and we expect them to continue to be strong early in 2023. And I'm going to tell you why these 4 are so important today. But as always, thanks so much for tuning in and subscribing. If you find this helpful, hit the like button. And if you have a favorite one of these 4 options, drop it in the comments. Or if we missed out on one, let us know. And finally, I love hearing where you're watching from because we regularly look for state-specific or city-specific funding opportunities. So drop in where you're watching from in the comments. Here's why these 4 options are so important today. This just came out today from the New York Times. Even a soft landing for the economy may be uneven, and in particular, small businesses and lower income families could feel pinched in the months ahead. Here's why generally healthy corporate balance sheets and consumer credit can be bulwarks against the forces of volatile prices and global instability, but small businesses and lower income families may not have that cushion to absorb some of these major macro forces. And in particular, this headline here, does small business risk falling behind? Well, certainly if you're not tuned in here, you may be behind because we'll cover all of the best funding and financial options for your business to help you get funding and, most importantly, grow your businesses. But in a December 2022 survey of around 3,000 small businesses, 38% of them said they had 1 month or less of cash reserves, up 12 percentage points from a year earlier. And a Bank of America survey of small business owners in November found that more than half of respondents expect a recession in 2023 and plan to reduce spending accordingly. Similarly, we did our own end-of-year survey for small businesses and learned a lot from them. In particular, around 75% of businesses wish they had applied for more funding last year, and 85% wish they had more help with their business, and 74% of business owners said 2022 did not meet their business expectations. A lot of this overall pointed to the difficult trend for small business owners last year, and that will only continue unless you take action, especially early in the year, to go after funding opportunities. So the number 1 of the top 4 is the SBA 7A loan. A year ago, everyone was still talking about the Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program from the SBA, aka EIDL. That program ended last March. We saw firsthand the appeal of 7A loans. Just today, we had a couple approved for $150,000 SBA 7A loans, and they're generally great options because these are great terms backed by the government, generally looking for healthy businesses, and they'll also want to see financial projections, a business plan, profit and loss statement. So if you haven't looked at the SBA 7A loan, but you've heard me talk about it for several months now, kick off the year by looking at this program. And if you want help applying for this, consider getting one-on-one help from our team, which is the sponsor of today's video. Go to helloskip.com/join. Choose one of the options, or better yet, use the link in the description. We will work with you to apply for 7A loans, and we've partnered with the largest 7A provider in the country to increase your chances of success. Number 2, most important funding option this year, many of you have already taken advantage of. It is the ERC, otherwise known as the Employee Retention Credit, still going strong. Just in the past month, we helped folks get around $5 million collectively in money back from this program. If you had employees in 2020 or 2021 and you haven't looked into this, do yourself a favor and look into it. See how much you might be eligible for. These are refunds from the IRS that go directly to your business, up to $26,000 per employee. If you want to use our partner link, go to skiperc.com. I'll also leave that in the description. So before I get to number 3, what's the timeline for these first 2? Well, we've seen with SBA 7A loans can be around 60 days from origination to approval and getting money in your bank account. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but this takes some time. Similarly with the ERC, this can take up to several months because the IRS will have to review your amended tax returns and then approve things. So if you apply today and you haven't yet, it might be a nice surprise in a few months when you get that refund from the IRS. Again, skiperc.com. Now, there are a couple quicker funding options if you are in a pinch. Of course, private funding options, fintech companies are traditionally some of the fastest options. That's often one of their main selling points. We have a handful of partners that we've been working with for years that we trust and we've seen great results from. Here are a few of the names: Funding Circle, Fundbox, Fora, Bluevine, and you can use our links for all of these companies in the description. These include term loans up to $250,000, $500,000, or lines of credit up to $500,000. They're worth looking into, especially lines of credit, because you can get approved and have a cushion that you may or may not need. But for many small business owners, at least having a cushion, a line of credit that you can access if things get tight, goes a long way in giving you peace of mind, allowing you to focus on the important things like growing your business, getting more customers. And we often say it's good to go after multiple options. Don't put your eggs in one basket. But what can you do if you don't want to take out more loans, if you don't want to do traditional financing options, whether it's private or public options, or if you don't want to wait several months for tax credits? Well, you can apply for grants. We cover grants every single week on this channel. We answer questions, we help you apply, and we post all these funding opportunities directly on our app. You can search HelloSkip in the App Store and Google Play, so you never miss out on grants, especially if you're looking for free money options. Of course, they're competitive, but we try to make it easy for you to know about them, decide if you want to apply, and make that process easy. So if you end up winning a $5,000 grant, a $10,000 grant, or more, it didn't take a lot of work on your part, and it could be a nice surprise to help boost your business. So those are the 4 options, and the 5th bonus one I'll leave you with today is, of course, the SSBCI funding. That's the State Small Business Credit Initiative. There's $10 billion from the federal government being distributed to states, mainly for loan programs, collateral programs, venture capital programs. About half of the states in the country are approved. About 10 are starting to distribute funds. We are always keeping a tight eye on that and helping folks apply early. If you're curious on that, you can go to helloskip.com/SSBCI to get alerts about this program. It's one of the most under the radar programs out there. So there you go. I hope some of those programs you could take advantage of, especially early in the year while you have momentum. What did we miss? Would love to hear in the comments. And of course, where you're watching from, so we can look and try to find more funding options specific to where you live, whether that's your state or your city or town. Most importantly, stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video.